Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hiroshi Nakaso from Tokyo. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Monetary Authority of Singapore for holding the Singapore FinTech Festival again this year and successfully bringing under its umbrella the World FinTech Festival to be held at 11 locations. And I'm also glad that Tokyo is one of the hubs which is hosting this festival, and it is my great pleasure to open this event. COVID-19, which still constrains free move of people, was, I think, a game changer in many respects. Online events such as this one, supported by new technologies, enable us to learn from each other, even though we are distant apart. Business life seems to be undergoing a permanent change. Although I don't think physical meetings can be fully substituted by virtual meetings. At the peak of my business career, I was away from home for 124 days out of 1 year for overseas business trips. This kind of life will not come back, even after the pandemic is behind us. Indeed, COVID-19 turned out to be a wake-up call for many of us. It alerted us to the imminent challenges we have to resolve. We must accelerate digital transformation. We must be ahead of the curve in addressing the climate change. Addressing the climate change, however, is a formidable challenge. A year ago, the then Prime Minister Suga declared that Japan will achieve carbon neutral by 2050. The new Kishida administration, now with a stable majority after the successful general election last month, remains fully committed to meeting the national target. To help achieve target from the financial side, the government embarked on the Green Financial Center initiative. Meanwhile, in tandem with the government's initiative, Ms. Yuriko Koike, Governor of Tokyo, has promoted an ambitious initiative to upgrade Tokyo's role as a global financial center, with green at its heart. The Tokyo Metropolitan Government has recently released a new vision to become a financial center that can contribute to sustained growth of not only Japan, but also broader economies in the Asia-Pacific region. The organization that I represent today, FinCity.Tokyo, has a mission to promote this initiative. So let me briefly introduce ourselves. FinCity.Tokyo was established in 2019 as Japan's first public-private partnership financial promotion organization based on the Global Financial City Tokyo vision, which was led by Governor Koike in 2017. Now, our goal is not to reconstruct a financial center that merely boasts of scale, as was the case during the bubble economy of the late 1980s. Rather, our goal is to revive Tokyo as an advanced financial center which can help resolve social and economic challenges that we commonly face today through effective utilization of financial assets for achieving sustainable economic growth. We tend to build a financial center from which everyone can benefit. FinCity.Tokyo's activities consist broadly of 3 areas. Firstly, we disseminate information about Tokyo to domestic and foreign stakeholders through events, media activities, and social media. Secondly, we collect voices from market players to identify any issues which contribute to better functioning of the Tokyo Financial Center. And thirdly, we conclude the feedback loop by making policy recommendations to lawmakers and policymakers. I think this channel has worked extremely well, and this year, many concrete measures were implemented, including reforms in income, corporate inheritance taxes, as well as relaxation in visa requirements to welcome highly skilled financial professionals to Tokyo. These may still look modest by, for example, Singaporean standard, but from Japan's perspective, the new measures which were unthinkable a year ago, are symbolic departure from the past conservative policies. The reforms demonstrate just how serious Japan is about the financial center initiative this time around. Now, I'm pleased to note that the reforms and our promotion campaign have proved quite successful, as we see continued flow of entries to Tokyo, despite under COVID constraints. This slide shows a list of recent entries and operational expansions. As you see, the lineup of new entrants are quite diverse, ranging from FinTech, InsurTech companies, private equity, wealth management firms, to crypto asset exchange. I have a sense that these new entrants are going to reshape Tokyo's financial landscape. Addressing the climate change will, among others, be a focal issue for the Financial Center Initiative, as it requires a huge amount of money. Since the entire Japanese industry must head for carbon neutral by 2050, all firms, including Mittelstand companies, must go green. This means huge amount of investment must be financed smoothly through green and transition financing. The latter, the transition financing, I think is necessary because many firms will have to undergo transitional phase before becoming completely green. During the transition, firms must embark on energy-saving capital investments and R&Ds to develop innovative new sources of clean energy. Now, this is a major challenge, not only for Japanese firms, but also for broader firms in the Asia-Pacific region. So smooth financing of investment is a prerequisite for ensuring a transition to carbon neutrality. Green bond is a key financing instrument, the market of which is growing fast. And as you see in this slide, green bond issuance in Japan is surging, reaching almost $10 billion in 2020. Although this is still relatively small to the global expansion, I see no reason why this trend is not going to accelerate in Japan. I expect that in the path to carbon neutrality, the size and quality of necessary financial support will largely be dependent on carbon price, as determined in carbon emissions trading, based on globally consistent taxonomy that retains flexibility to be adaptable to economies at different stages of development. Therefore, in my view, carbon pricing, taxonomy, and financing are intertwined. In this context, Tokyo intends to play a vital role by becoming a venue for green financing, where funding requirements of not only Japanese firms, but also those from across the Asia-Pacific region are met by domestic and overseas investors. I think in this way, Tokyo can play a unique role in the Asia-Pacific region as a financial center. To perform this role more effectively, the Tokyo Metropolitan Government published Global Financial City Tokyo Vision 2.0 earlier this month, which is a revised version of the original vision formulated in 2017. It sets forth Tokyo's key strategies. As you see on this slide, there are 3 pillars. First, promotion of green finance through the Tokyo Green Finance Initiative, the TGFI. Secondly, digitalization of financial services utilizing fintech companies. And third, accumulation of a wide range of financial players. The first pillar is the Tokyo Green Finance Initiative, TGFI. Here, the Tokyo Metropolitan Government intends to play a catalytic role to expand the green finance market by issuing more green bonds. Tokyo will also provide an information platform for green finance and become a seed investor for a sustainable energy fund and attract companies and talent to harness the market. Second, financial digitalization. The Japanese people, along the German people have long been known for their attachment for cash. But I think the pandemic was a turning point in the sense that even a conservative former central banker like myself, with, of course, deep trust in banknotes, shifted to digital cash. The move toward contactless transaction in all corners of the economy now seems irreversible. FinTech firms play a key role in the process, and Tokyo intends to accelerate the process by promoting the introduction of cashless payments and digitalization of financial services on a wider scale. The third pillar, to reinforce the aforementioned two pillars, is to attract a diverse lineup of financial services players, including asset managers and fintech companies. In this respect, in addition to the various reforms by the government that I have mentioned earlier to welcome entrants to Japan, the Tokyo metropolitan government provides those foreign firms intending to open offices in Tokyo with various support measures. The latest of such measures is the Green Subsidy Program for Tokyo entry, the outline of which you see on the slide. It is a subsidy program in which a maximum of 50 million yen each will be granted to up to 5 companies in asset management and fintech industries with expertise in green financing that plan to open offices in Tokyo by the end of March 2022. So we look forward to working with the foreign firms that take advantage of this program in coming to Tokyo. Looking at the program of the event today, I'm delighted to see that many sessions chime with Tokyo's vision. I hope the event will inspire new ideas and further innovation. And given the affiliation of this event with Singapore FinTech Festival, I believe it is an excellent opportunity to explore how Tokyo can connect and collaborate with broader Asia-Pacific region. So I look forward to a useful and insightful discussion. Thank you very much for your attention.